Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas. Can I put in a little advertisement for Thomas? And he's going to be talking about storytelling at Bradle Heights Advanced on December 21st afternoon. It's our Christmas party and our Speechcraft storytelling by Thomas Wren. Come along, free to Toastmasters, $10 to drop-in visitors, and it's 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock at Bradle Heights Community Centre. Now we will move on from that wonderful little advertisement by Thomas for Toastmasters to our next speaker. Willie, you know who's coming and who's going, so please let us know.
Okay, the first eventer is Thomas for J icebreaker speech.
Right, Thomas, back to you again to evaluate Jay's icebreaker.
Before that, how do I check the time?
Go to the gallery view.
Gallery view, okay.
Or you look at Peter's screen.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Peter may not be online, but for
okay, if not, then you look at my screen.
I'm on.
Okay.
I'm just, yeah, you know, doing all the funny things. That's why I want to show you my face.
What funny things? Right, Jay, are you ready? Is Jay over there? Is Jay around?
He go offline already. Never mind, just
record it long, then send it to him.
It will be online, so never mind.
Okay, amazing. Okay, I'm going to start soon. Okay. Enriching evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again, especially to Jay. So since Christmas season is coming and I'm getting a little bit round like Santa Claus, I shall evaluate using ho ho ho. So what's the first ho? What made Jay's speech wholesome? Or in the Singapore sense, what made it Jose? So firstly, Jay is a vivid storyteller. You know, he shared with us his adventurous life, how he was riding on bikes and shooting guns. And this was complemented by his hand gestures. For example, the keyholes, or how he was taking aim, or the message boxes. So all of these gestures helped the audience to visualize and internalize his speech better. It painted pictures of his experience in the mind of the audience so that we can connect to it. Secondly, he built the premise of his speech using personal experience. He shared personal anecdotes about his younger days as an adventurer to who he is now as an inspiring speaker and educator. See, by sharing about our personal stories as speakers, we can strengthen and solidify the audience connection because the audience get to know us better. And that's what he did. He shared with us a personal story. And not only that, it elevated the authenticity and sincerity of his speech. We know it's not something he made up, but it's something he truly experienced before so that he can deliver his message with more authenticity and sincerity. And finally, he wasn't overly dramatic or overly exaggerated. And because he's here to truly share his experience with us, he's here to impact, not impress us. Here to share the story of his life. Reminded me of my Sergeant Major back in NS days where he always shared with us grandfather stories. That is what Jay did. So moving on to the second hole. How can we cover up possible holes in Jay's speech so that it will be holistic? So firstly, Jay, I encourage you to animate your speech to breathe in life. What you can do is to add in dialogues, perhaps develop the characterization and the personality of the different characters. For example, when you were interacting with the farmers, you could go, "Young man, do you want to try the rifle out?" So by doing that, you show that the farmer is a little bit senior in age, a little bit slow, but still caring and outreaching. You also can share with us your interaction with the parents, you know, how they can be proud parents of your achievements. Add in dialogues to elevate the characterization. Secondly, be organized. You share with us a wealth of details on your life adventures, but to help how you can do it in a more organized manner is to give us previews before each part. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to share with you about my younger days, which I can assure you it's not too long ago. Or ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to share with you about the story of my journey in Toastmasters and how these both stories could relate and resonate with all of you. Share with us some preview so that we will not be lost in the sea of content and we can appreciate the message even more. And finally, call to action. Develop some learning lessons for the audience to bring back from your speech. Is it to be courageous and treat life like an adventure? Is it to aim and focus just like you were at a firing range? Or perhaps it's to step out of our comfort zone and do what we had not tried before? Share with us a learning lesson so that it makes your speech even more enriching and enlightening, and we will know what to take away from it. And now for the third hole. Holy cow, it's running out of time. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, Jay is a vivid storyteller with personal stories to elevate authenticity and with plentiful of inspiring content. Do consider Jay to animate your speech, be organized, and add in a call to action, and I'm sure you will be the Jay Cho of public speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thomas. That was a typical Thomas evaluation, full of language, interesting acronyms, alliterations, and thought and analysis. I'm sure you all enjoyed that. And I'm sure the speaker did too when he gets to hear it later. Now, back to Willie, who will tell us who is going to be next and who is in and who is offline.
Okay, the next evaluator is for Pallavi is Hendrik. Hendrik, over to you.
The Toastmaster members on guest and especially Pallavi. As she holding a speech about resources for informing, that is about how to know your audience. And actually this subject is very, very, very important in the Toastmasters. Many people doesn't realize that actually. But in this speech, this is a very good thing to practice actually. And Pallavi did it in a very good way. Well, if you see with that objectives, it was 4 objectives and she made them all. She have a good smile and very good voice, of course. And I felt, first of all, was it the right audience? But I was totally wrong in that. It was the perfect audience in their speech. She had a very good visual aids, and that warmed up actually very good. And you have you choose exactly right audience for that subject. The only thing I can say, what if something could improve, even if you have a very good subject for the audience, and maybe you have excellent right audience for your speech. The beginning can in many ways. How do you take a beginning for the right audience? Do you take it with a question? Do you take it with a speech? With exercise you did like for eyes? What is the right thing? The only thing I can do is say to me, in my point of view, is to maybe a little bit that people remember it. That's the only thing I can improve. And what I heard, and maybe you're happy, but I didn't see the enthusiasm in your speech. But that doesn't mean that you did a bad speech. On the contrary, but something that you like to speak for us. If the audience is the Toastmaster, your Toastmaster club, feel happy, do it. It's your audience. Feel from the heart, out from the heart. That's what thinking about. You can improve. That was all from me. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Henrik. Well, that's news to me because it wouldn't have occurred to me to put emotion into a practical subject, but you're quite right. It's important all the time. Very interesting analysis. I'm sure the speaker will appreciate it as well as the rest of the audience listening to you. Now we'll go back to Willie to find out who is available to give the next evaluation of whose speech.
Your next evaluator is Alicia. She will be evaluating Shasha speech or building a social media planner? Thank you. Sean? Alicia?
A fabulous Friday night, President, distinguished guests and members, and especially to Shan. Shan, I will evaluate Shan in two areas. The first area is what I can learn from her, and the next area is what we can all learn together. Now, the first area, what she did very well, as usual, Shan always engages the audience. And she engages the audience in two ways. She cleverly uses the technique of questions. And she used questions in the introduction. How many of you have a social media account? Then from there, I could hear a lot of buzzers here and there and people volunteering answers. That was good. And then in the mid section of her speech, she again asked another question about how often people check in when they went to Changi Airport. Now, the other way she engaged the audience was the humor in her mini dialogues. I especially like the humor whereby she says, the camera eats the food first. And that really engaged me because I'm the person who always uses the camera and takes the photo first before eating whenever I'm at a dinner function or makan function. And she also uses her facial expressions and hand gestures very well to engage the audience. Now, besides all these things that I can learn from her, there's another area where we can all learn together. These are some recommendations. I hope Shan can help Shan in her speech, the following. Now, when you are talking about social media, the most important tool in social media would be, anybody has a guess? Will be the handphone. So, in order to better engage the audience, she could have took out her handphone in an introduction, pretend to play with the handphone, then turn towards the audience and start asking people, how many of you have a social media account? That will better engage the audience. Because everyone, even me, I'm always looking at my handphone to check my Facebook and Instagram. And the other thing she could have done to show that social media has increased or enhanced her physical club's website for Toastmasters, she could have shown us figures by telling us how many likes she has garnered for the club. We all know she's very active in social media, but we need to have figures. And probably she can also tell us from the uploads that she has been uploading in the social media, how many non-Toastmasters have visited her club ever since she has posted it. And perhaps she can share with us how frequently she does it, so we can all learn with her. And finally, the one thing quite most important that she can work on would be to adjust her tone and pitch in the mini dialogues that she shared with us. For instance, there's one part where she talked about going to South Korea 4 times, the 4 seasons. She could have adjusted her tone and made it more excitable. Because every one of us, after this meeting, will not remember what you said. But by adjusting your tone and pitch, everybody will remember how you made them feel. Overall, Shan did a very good job of engaging the audience but if she could have used some props, figures, and adjusting her vocal variety, she can bring the speech to a higher level. So, like Wonder Woman, you can do it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Alicia. That was just wonderful. I love the emotion you put into it and the way you stood up at the end and demonstrated the point about using props. I'm a props person myself. I love props. I must remember that one to stand up. And I shall stand up now. There's a way of doing it, isn't there? Which you've obviously mastered.
Yes,
I will now hand back to Willie to tell us who is in town online and will carry on with the meeting. Back to you, Willie.
Okay. The next eventer is Clara Paul. He will be evaluated from Rama 3 or project level 2 project 3 introduction to Toastmaster mentoring. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, over to you, Gerald, alias Mr. Turkey. Please come in, Turkey.
Yes, Turkey is timing himself. Wait. Okay. Good evening, everybody. With the 2 chickens here. I shall evaluate based on what the 2 sides of the chicken sees it, because I'll throw in some props in the way. She defined, and especially to my speaker.
Yeah.
She defined mentoring as a process about how to introduce the mentors, and everybody got mentors in work, in studies, in even in family life also. So then you use it's supported by many stories and also organized, not too bad. The only that is the depth, because mentoring is all about personal stories, how being mentored, how does it helps you, and it's just a general brief introduction to mentoring. So Uncle Turkey also got mentored by very senior distinguished Toastmasters in the past too. So everybody has their learning lessons that they can pick up from mentoring, and mentoring is also very effective in contests, because I do train the district contestants quite a fair bit. That's why hence my question is a little bit out of the outlandish today. But depends, we have these 2 chickens here. So my chicken toys always follow me whenever I go for meetings, for club meetings and wherever. So that made me wonder, what should I be doing with these chickens to get them to follow along in the flow? So it's sometimes when we overshare a story, your depth in the timing, right, is always this core debate. Yeah, I have this few little consideration that we want to bring about. Conclusion was very nicely done. It's only the depth of that knowledge sharing. So sometimes there is always a give and take situation between two items like this, or you add on with a LED item. What do I mean by these 3 items here? It's either whether you want to have 2 stories or you want to do 3 stories. It's always this debate whether you want this mentoring depth to go. You want to go very in depth, so you need at least 2.5 minutes. If you are not going in depth, you want to go general, you run on the 3 stories that works for you, also can. But in life, you can always use the mini story. There's even another crazier approach I also would do. Is I would suggest to speakers to sometimes even consider go for the super mini storage approach. That means the micro mini table topic format. That means we follow 1.5 minutes per story. So that way you are ensuring that you are in time and within timing. Because introduction and conclusion always usually take about 1 minute plus. So mentoring is more feel about being mentored and sharing the story, and it's more story based for this project. So it involves a lot of thinking and involves a lot of structuring down the sharing, because you had these 3 good pointers of family, or that it sometimes is whether you want to go in depth as much as possible and to keep within time in an online environment compared to a physical club. And sometimes you have this challenge of how are you going to get it right in a nice way or not? So life will always have this, because we always have this way of thinking. Sometimes, should I take this challenge to get it, or should I not take this challenge to even push myself to? Because the mentors are always there to help you. So never mind, and you can always be a light bulb to others. And I hand back to my beautiful Angela, who is the TME of the day. And Merry Christmas and good Happy Deepavali.
Thank you so much, Uncle Turkey, for your evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Turkey. I did enjoy
so
that.
much.
It was a novelty. Glad our speaker liked it too. Well, we'll now go back to Willie to find out what is next on our agenda.
Since everyone was so busy or other matter, I think for Angela's speech, we can give it a miss. And then evaluation, because I think I also miss out a lot of things. Okay, never mind about this. Now is feedback time about our meeting for tonight. I guess some guests already left the meeting, never mind. We just continue what we're supposed to be. So the feedback session will now be given to guests. No Toastmaster who have attended the club meeting online the first time. So can I have Rama to give us her feedback on how she find a meeting as compared to a physical club meeting, and anything that she. Okay, sorry, I missed out something before we start. Let me activate the evaluation poly. Sorry, I missed out that portion.
Willie.
Yep.
Two of them run out of.
Never mind. Today, never mind. Today a lot of changes, so forget about it. For today, next meeting, every meeting we must at least have a perfect 20. But anyway, thanks for your effort, Peter. We'll talk this offline later. Okay, 4 more to go. And by the way, host and co-host are not allowed to vote. This is the rule by Zoom.
I see. No wonder I can't vote.
I remove you. You can vote. No problem. I withdraw. You can vote. Try now.
Sorry, the poll went away.
Not yet. Not over yet. You try again. Okay, never mind. Close already. Time out. Let me show us the result. The winner is our Thomas Trey. Thomas the Train.
Thomas the Train, yes.
But he disappeared already. Because computer had problem. Okay, never mind. It's feedback time for the guests. Rama. Yeah. So how you like about the meeting? Anything that you feel we can improve better?
I really liked it, Willie. Honestly, I wasn't, because this was the first time I've attended any such kind of meeting. Really, really very impressed with that, because and during the break, I'd already shared the link on my club group, because that's what I asked you. You're going to have lots of Marine Parade Toastmasters members now coming up to you. So I had a good time. It was a new experience. I know I made few mistakes, but then yeah, I'm really looking forward to, because this was a new environment, new experience kind of thing. So now I know where to focus for the next time.
Okay, thank you for your feedback. We are only, this is the only the 8th meeting since we started. This is the only 4th meeting since the chartered meeting. So we still got a long way to go. Online club that was started 3 years ago also face the same problem.
Okay.
Okay, so definitely physical club also face the same problem as well. So we are all learning. Over to our Thomas the Train.
Hello.
Give us your feedback about the meeting, anything that we should improve better.
Feedback, overall great experience. The vision brought together by Willie, I felt that it was really something that is very beneficial. You know, I've been following it for a while. In this appeal to, I think, a huge range of audience, people who are very busy, people who are at an inconvenient position, or perhaps people who are looking to clear speeches, and this is indeed a platform for it. Of course, the disadvantage is in terms of the physical interaction, in terms of the, you know, maybe it's like slightly different when you're presenting on stage and when you are seated and presenting on it. But I feel that it is also, this format is also able to enhance our communication skill, right? So, I mean, instead of having the mindset of either one, why not both, right? In terms of improvements, perhaps the organization in terms of the I would say the details. I'm not very IT savvy, although I use Facebook a lot, like what Shan say. But I'm not to the extent like really like that. Know how to know all the different cool devices. I don't even know this was possible until really introduced it. So in terms of the details, like how can we be constantly aware of the details while at the chapter meeting itself, like having a physical, a program sheet, but superimposed on the computer itself, or the timing, right? The timing, I'm sure Peter did a great job, but is there some way where we can see the green, yellow, red? Because that is a indication for some speakers as well. But overall, thank you so much. You know, not easy to keep
Only
track.
this application you can do it.
Only this application can
This
do it.
online timer by one of the online Toastmaster Club.
Wow, cool. Okay, yeah. So
I have been using that for the past few meetings already. So it's very good, but it's just that people are still use the old traditional method of a timer,
all right.
mobile timer.
But I guess it's visible throughout, then it's okay lah. I mean,
I can share out the link, no issue.
Right.
Yeah, because we all learn. I also started in a bad timing, but we all learn.
Yeah, progress slowly together. Yeah, is there some way to put the project objectives in the program sheet as well?
No, it's in a program sheet, but
is it?
You need to change the view from mobile view to meeting view.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's just that Angela is doing her TME role the first time. Okay. She is not familiar and she need to do more.
Understand.
And we're supposed to have a pre-meeting overview, but it seems like she has something that delay her.
No worries. We're all learning. Yeah.
Normally,
let me check.
Who is the TME? He or she have to come in 30 minutes earlier for a pre-meeting. And then for that, I will guide her or him to go through the meeting program, when to see how the view, because sometimes you need to be TME, you need to keep refreshing the screen because there's always changes. We want to have a perfect meeting, like a club meeting, because online meeting is always have a problem because of people not home yet, elevator MIA or toilet not back yet. This thing we have people. Previously, our break used to be 5 minutes only, and some of them cannot take time to finish the toilet break. So we 15 minutes is too long, so we try to make it 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the best timing for break. Okay. So because we are a 3 hours meeting, that's why our break time is 10 minutes after table topic, 10 minutes after speaking slot. Or as we always have fun. Okay, interaction, we always have interaction after the meeting. We call it after party host. So it's still chit chat session. It's like but you go get to see the person eat a kopitiam, really coffee or whatever. You just
But we can make our own coffee at home.
then we just have it online.
And
So this is
cheers.
how it's a different experience. I understand that we have a different experience. For speakers who need to speak using their body language, they are advised to stand up.
Like
It's
Pallavi
still
lah.
the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's just that that's where we can see them the full body.
Correct.
But this cup we focus on speech delivery, setting up the standard first. Then we talk about the rest because we only have the next before around 3 months time, and those people who are eligible to take part in speech contest because the speech contest is online speech contest and it will be evaluated by judges across the world.
Wow, looking forward to
And the recording will be sent directly to Toastmasters International.
that. Okay.
We
nice.
do not have area contest. We go have division contest. We go have district contest. We go have regional contest. So the best speaker will be selected by Toastmasters International.
But this time around must follow their guidelines, right? Like the full
No,
body.
it's the same. It's the same guideline.
Okay.
It's the same guideline. You can do a Google. One of these days, I send you the video or one of the online speech contest. Then you will understand how it works.
Steady.
Because we work. Actually, it's the same. Either you can sit down. I think their speech contest is mostly speech delivery. I don't know. I can't recall. Only our club advisor Aaron can advise, but we can talk this offline after the meeting because he will be around to advise you further.
Okay, amazing. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Willie.
Over to now to Hendrik. Your feedback since you have been in our meeting for the last 6-7 meetings.
I was supposed to exactly leave the meeting right now because I need to get to hurry, but I can take there is always a pleasure to be here. I've said before, and I like to I learn things every time I'm here. It's amazing. I don't think that, but this I would like to thank Dennis Ham for this time. He made a so excellent structure on table topics, how we should make the evaluation of. So that I'm so impressed with. In general, it was a very good meeting. We had very fun today. I was in a good mood. Willie was in a good mood. That's okay too. Then we all happy. So that make us good. Thank you very much.
Are you ready to be part of us very soon?
Not
we
yet.
talk this offline. Just a normal approach that I will always do that. Okay, now I will call the member and the member.
Okay, goodbye everyone. See you next week or next time.
Okay, Dennis, your feedback today. Dennis, your feedback about the meeting today.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to, I can't remember if it was Aaron or Peter who gave me the ideas for evaluating the table topics. So I just made a little table for myself so that I could kind of check off boxes to make sure that I looked at each one of the table topic speaker the same. So thank you very much for the information on how to evaluate, and I just follow the guidelines. Thank you.
Okay. Angela, what's your experience of being a Toastmaster of the day today? How is it different for a physical club? Please unmute yourself.
A physical club is much easier because you can have a printed program, and normally if I'm a Toastmaster or a timer, I get a printed program so that I can look up and down it at a glance. I don't have to fiddle around on a mobile phone. I'm still not entirely used to all these little symbols everywhere. I'm not a symbol person. I'm an Apple user. I expect something to say, click here, not just to sit with a series of dots, waiting for me to take the initiative to click on the dots and hope something comes up. Because I was finding that the person on the screen was not the person who was doing the talking at some points in the program, and I didn't know how that can be rearranged. So I feel we should all have a lesson for everybody on how to operate all the different things on the screen, and not leave it till the last minute, hoping that no crisis has prevented me arriving. I'd rather know a week in advance how to do it, or even do it twice, practice it a week in advance and then do it on the night.
Okay, no problem. You will have
And I'd like feedback on my presentation. So if anybody can do the usual thing, commend, recommend, commend, and send it to me, I'd be most grateful. Thank you to everybody.
We have to see the recording. I think everyone have to see your recording. And you will have a chance to be a TME again, so that you will get used to the technology.
Thank you.
Yeah. Over to you, Paravi. Your feedback about your meeting. This is your 4th meeting already.
Okay, I thought it's my 3rd meeting, but
Third or 4th meeting, I can't recall already. Never mind.
Yeah, I think I took a good enough break, and compared to my 2nd and 3rd meeting, I think I've seen a lot of improvement online. There have been so many wonderful speakers, and definitely, as Angela mentioned, and the initiative taken by the group of keeping a table topics evaluator is something really good, because many a times it is an impromptu on front, but as such it is always prepared. And as Angela mentioned in her speech, that for an impromptu speech, it's always better to know what all things can be asked and how they can be related, and we prepare them beforehand. So when Dennis came up with his evaluation, it gives a quite good feedback to the speaker with respect to the table topics, that how he or she can navigate properly to come up with a very fantastic table topics. Like Thomas came up with a very well structured, well organized, a good vocabulary, and like it was really, it didn't seem like it was an impromptu. So I think that it shows that he has a lot of finesse in him. So that's
You're
really
making me blush, Pallavi.
Sorry?
You're making me blush.
Okay. No, that was really awesome. I think it's really good initiative, because we don't find such steps taken in our regular physical clubs. So that's really good. And I think as far as the technology is concerned, I think yes, it is. We are at an infant stage, and gradually over time, I think a couple of more months, and we will be like rocking with the technology. And I think it's more about, apart from the tutorials, as Angela requested today, and last time I had also requested, I think apart from the tutorial, what is important that each one of us should give individual time to the technology, and we ourselves can access to the various tutorials. Because today when I was trying to use the link on my laptop, I found that there are a lot of links which has a different kind of tutorial for different kind of activities. So I think it's more that we give our own personal time to the technology, and I think it depends on our other priorities. So, but yeah, sooner or later, I think we all will do it quite well. And again, it was really nice to listen to the speakers and to get feedback. And maybe I just would like to request that maybe a couple of breaks, that we have 2 to 3 breaks, please reduce it to maybe 1 or 2 of 5 to 7 minutes. I am not sure whether it's fine or not, but I feel the duration of the breaks can be reduced a bit. And we can have a general feedback for the speakers as well, the prepared speakers, because the more the merrier. We get to hear more from other people, other evaluators. We get to improve ourselves, especially on this platform, being a total new platform. The more we get to hear, the more we improve, I think. And as you said, the online contests are coming up. All of us need to prepare accordingly.
Okay, so probably there's a good news and bad news for everyone. The bad news is all the district officers are not allowed to take part this time.
Yeah, I know that.
Only non-district officer I can take part, but I cannot because I'm a contest judge, so I cannot. So only next term.
No, it's perfectly fine because really we even when we listen to others, we learn.
Right.
And we learn, so that it is good. I think that we learn from others and then we try to apply it on ourselves. So it would be really good.
Okay. Regarding technology, I guess is you have to come early before the meeting, half an hour, just to go through all the technology, because I cannot possible got everyone ready the meeting. It will be
Yeah, a big thank you for that, to help me out today with that sharing.
No problem. Because I mean, when you have a time to be a Toastmaster of the day, you will get to understand the technology. You will also get to be the co-host where you can manage the people. And the next day is Angela did mention that she want to have a mock contest for area director, district officer. We can do that, but that will not have a first, second. I mean, that will not go inside the TI record. It's only for cup contest. We can do it. We need to do it on a separate meeting. We do not want to disrupt normal chapter meeting. We can have a different date for that contest.
Okay.
And Angela did ask me some question. Angela, what is the question that you have?
Hello. Can we have? I agree with you. Feedback from everybody on each speech would be very helpful. Maybe some. We had something in one of the speeches on how you set up your background so you don't have a clutter of boxes behind you and general clutter in the background. And at a previous meeting, we were told where to buy something on which you could project.
Okay, that I can technically advise is the green screen that Dennis was actually using behind. Actually, Dennis was using a green screen.
A green screen. That's all I need to do.
Yes, a green background screen. Wait, I'm going to show you on AliExpress.
Right.
Give me a
Thank
minute.
you very much for repeating that. Thank you.
You have heard it in the previous few meetings.
Okay, never mind. We talk this offline later.
Later
okay?
I'll show her. Later I'll show her.
Shanshan, your feedback today.
Okay.
Every we have feedback.
I missed the table topic, so I can't really talk about it. But the speeches and the evaluations are good, so we can continue. Anything is like the thing is that timer sequence again. So you just try to probably get the timing sequence up on track.
Okay. So I know that you are quite colorful today.
Yep.
Alicia, your feedback today.
Okay. I was a bit late because I came from a function. So that's how you saw me in formal clothes. I missed the table topic, but I was in time for the speeches. And I particularly liked the 10-minute break. That really gave me time to go and shower and get into my super Wonder Woman gear for just time for evaluation. I bought this especially for feedback or evaluation.
Okay. Darren.
Yes.
1 point good, 1 point improvement.
The renaming of roles how many times got to remind people again during the break? Most of them did after the reminder
I'm the one who renamed.
You finally did the renaming for them, right? Yeah,
I renamed. But sometimes they got disconnected and connect and
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the renaming I think we just need to work on that one to help everybody. Not otherwise TME will be lost like a turkey also.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all.
Thank you.
That's all. Okay.
Anyone
Anyway, I'm going to share the green screen thing later.
Wait. Okay. Today we have Toastmaster coming for the District 80 to do a speech. We have evaluator for District 80 to give an evaluation. keep them coming in, and we will need more of this. And I believe one day we are right now having an 8 meeting since we started. We are only the 4th meeting of after the charter meeting. We already did a lot better than most of the clubs that was chartered. So I believe we can be better. Well, learning never stop. We keep on learning till the day we left this club. I know some of us are start to leave the meeting. I will not delay more of you. Whoever will have a after party chit chat party after this. So our decane committee will together a decane committee cruise. So we'll end the recording and we can talk anything.